Hi there, my name is William Earnhardt. I'm a Bible worker in the Florida area, and I would like to share with you another quick Easter season devotional. Did you realize that when Judas went to betray Jesus, that Jesus called Judas his friend? That's hard for us to imagine in a society right now where we are so polarized politically. So many people today have this idea, if you don't believe exactly the way I do politically, you're the enemy. And each side thinks the other side is so wicked and so evil. And friends, that's because there's a spiritual warfare going on right now. The war is not with flesh and blood. The war is not with each other. It's with Satan and his angels. And Jesus realized that. In Matthew 26, verse 50, when Judas came to betray Jesus and greeted him with that infamous kiss, in Matthew 26, verse 50, Jesus said, "My friend, go ahead and do what you have come for." Notice, Jesus didn't call Judas a backstabber, a traitor, a backbiter. He called him a friend. Because Jesus was able to see past the flesh and blood. He was able to see past Judas and see what's described here in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, where Paul says, "For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against even spirits, even in heavenly places." Jesus was willing to look past Judas and realize the real enemy wasn't Judas. The real enemy was Satan. Jesus realized that many times Satan will use our friends without them even realizing it. He'll use our friends to say things that will hurt us and break our hearts and insult us. And our friends don't even have a clue that we took offense, because in their minds, they didn't even know that they were insulting us. They didn't mean it as an insult, or they didn't say it to be hurtful. But Satan knows what it takes to hurt us, even though our friends don't. And so sometimes our friends will be used unwittingly to hurt us. And that's when we need to be able to look beyond our friends and realize they're not the enemy. Satan is. Jesus realized Judas was not the enemy. Satan was. He was able to call Judas not a backstabber, not a traitor, but a friend. Now, a while back, I wrote a blog post about this, and somebody commented on my blog post and pointed out that word friend in the original manuscripts doesn't mean like a best friend. It means more like a friendly acquaintance. So yes, granted, Jesus was not calling Judas his best friend, but he wasn't calling him, he wasn't calling him his enemy either. He called him friend because he realized the real enemy was working behind Judas, and that was Satan. Friends, in our political climate right now, Satan is working hard to turn us against each other and for us all to see each other as enemies. Let's do like Jesus and try to recognize each other as friends and realize the real enemy is the one working behind the scenes, which is Satan. Friends, my prayer is that we will have that unity that Jesus wanted us to have when he said, they'll know you're my disciples by your love for each other. Let's not count each other as enemies just because we disagree. Let's count each other as friends and realize we're not wrestling with flesh and blood. We're wrestling against evil spirits in high places. Friends, I want to encourage you to study more during this Easter season so that we can learn more and more about Jesus' great love that he has for all of us. He wants all of us to be friends, and he wants to be our friend. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to have your comments below, or you can always write to me at racer3@gmail.com. You spell out the 3, so it's RACERTHREE@gmail.com. God bless you as we continue studying God's Word during this Easter season.